It's the 3rd of October, 2023. I welcome you to Vice Tinubu'S on Flip TV, your number one super review program on Flip TV. All right, today's edition of this program, we have a story trending, not just one story, we have two stories trending in the country, and that of the planned strike that has been suspended by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, and the academic records of Tinubu that has been released to the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku+Labour. All right, let's see what the Punch is saying this morning on these issues that is currently trending in Nigeria. All right, the front page of the Punch newspaper: 6-month allowance, federal government to spend 315 billion naira. Labour suspends strike for 30 days. 6-month allowance. Federal government to spend 315 billion naira. Labour suspends strike for 30 days. Labour demands wage award for state, local government, private sector workers. 1.5 million federal workers to benefit from government's provisional wage award. To the next one, Chicago State University, Chicago Varsity releases Tinubu'S academic record to Atiku. Chicago Varsity releases Tinubu'S record to Atiku. There are diverse reactions over the release of Tinubu'S academic record to Atiku in the country. And we will be getting the views of our viewers on this news. Library, UK court restricts the Zionist movements. We have the pictures of the TUC leader, NLC leader, and the federal government. You can see the pictures on the front page of the Punch newspaper. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, and other leaders during a meeting between the federal government and the organized labor in Abuja on Monday. All right, down the paper, we have 30 fear killed in illegal Rivers refinery explosion. Quickly to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. What's the Nigerian Tribune saying this morning? Adding this time, very, very crucial one here. Labour suspends planned strike for 30 days, signs MOU with federal government. Labour suspends planned strike for 30 days, signs MOU with federal government. Tribunal sacks Sule declares PDP candidates as Nasarawa Governor. 15 feared burnt to death during bunkering activities in Rivers. All right, WHO recommends new cheap malaria vaccines for use. Osun community gets electricity after 91 years. All right, let's quickly talk to one of our reviewers here. Morning, MC Grammar.
All right, good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
How you doing?
Good morning, Nigerians at home. Good morning, Nigerians in diaspora. Good morning, Nigerian. Anywhere you're watching me from, this is MC Grammar.
MC
All right.
Grammar.
Yes,
All right.
back to today's topic.
Yeah, back to today's topic. Our planned strike for today,
All right.
the 3rd of October, has been suspended by the NLC.
So, do I just put it this way, that the federal government has finally reached an agreement with the NLC? Or what is it? I just want to find out.
Reach an agreement.
Because you just have to reach an agreement with NLC, because if you don't reach that an agreement, if you don't reach an agreement with NLC, definitely. Although NLC, I don't fancy NLC, the president and everything, because to me, they are not fighting the way they are supposed to fight. But they as in a B, let's just give it to them for now. If the federal government has decided to succumb to the pressure, I think it's a welcome development. I hope the federal government keeps to their own part of the deal, because I know federal government in Nigeria, they are not always respectful of any agreement you have with them. They will definitely betray the agreement. So I just hope the federal government will be able to keep to that agreement, and tomorrow we'll not see NLC calling again to say they want to embark on the nationwide strike, But
it has been suspended for just 30 days.
That's what I'm saying. I just hope the federal government will keep to the agreement. Because if the federal government doesn't keep to the agreement, then there is room for me to come back again and tell you I want to go on strike again. So nobody wants to hear that. Considering now that this country is not working perfectly well, and I don't know. Tinubu, I don't know what he's doing there as a Mr. President. I wonder how he's going to be in Nigeria, why Nigeria, everything is turning upside down. I used to say this, I thought Buhari is going to be the worst government. But I'm telling you the truth, Tinubu is not the worst government because under Buhari, we could see cash flow a little bit. We could feel it to have a president. But under this Tinubu, I don't feel anything. Like I don't have a president. That's the truth. And so that's why I'm just, and there's no how you can tell these politicians to step up. Me, I'm not part of those people that will always tell you, I'm matured. At your age, I will be telling you what to do. Then if I tell what to do at your age, that means you're stupid. At your age, if I should, a small boy like me should order you or control you what to do on how to govern Nigeria, then definitely you're stupid. That's how I look at it. That's why sometimes when I see Nigerian views, when they talk in class, I say your views doesn't count. Because these people don't listen to you. They can never listen to you because they sometimes think as if they know better than you. So there's nothing you say or try to sing it like a song to them for them to repair this country that they will listen to you. Nobody wants to listen to your ministration. Nobody wants to listen to your voice because this crop of politicians, they are just different crop of politicians who are so bad-minded that they are so wicked that wickedness radiates in their blood. And so that's what we see. So I tell you something, I've never seen a politician in this country that I will tell you that, yes, this is a good politician. That's the truth. You know, when you have a crop of politicians that are naturally wicked, what do you expect? Tinubu, of course, I know what played out in the aspect of Tinubu. Tinubu, when he was, remember, what's it called? NSAS. Remember when Nigerians chased Tinubu out? Oh, you people think he will forget so easily. It's not easy to forget. You people are running after him, you want to kill him. Those things Tinubu remember.
Was he part of the person that instigated the killing?
No, the thing is that, you know what he was? He's as a politician. That's what Tinubu is doing now. So nobody can dictate to him now. So he can move Nigeria the way he feels he wants to move this country. But I have a reason why I'm telling you that NLC, that I don't somehow believe in the fight of NLC. I wish NLC, the passion at which they are fighting this, they have said Tinubu, remove back the price to the old price. I would have loved it. I mean, if it takes the whole entire nation to sit at home for 1 month, it will look sweet. At least federal government will come say we are going back to the old price.
You know, there were fears that the strike might cause us another problem. You know, it might plunge us into more crisis. You know, of course, you know we are facing.
Okay, let me not tell you something.
Facing challenges.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
You know the problem with Nigerians are we fear not. I stayed in Ghana. I love Ghanaians for one thing. To do things in unity. Ghanaians, we no go green, we no go green. We go green, we go green. They don't have to fight their voice. That's what I like about Ghanaians. When they troop out to the streets, the government will know the Ghanaians are hungry. And so they want to do what the Ghanaians want. So here, we troop out to the streets. That's why the government are taking us for granted. Because who is listening to you that you're shouting? So that's why I keep telling every Nigerian here, we all make noise in our bedroom, even including the so-called stupid pastors making noise on air. They just make noise in their bedroom. They can come and tell you I'm close. The other day, the pastor will preach. I wrote to the Director General of this one. I wrote to the Inspector General of Police criminal. He never wrote any letter. But these things are just to psych people's brain. So I used to tell people that the problem of this country is the politicians and the evangelists, the so-called pastors. They are the problem. Imams, they are the problem of this country. These three people, they are the problem. Because you know why? If the imams and pastors are not siding government, then we would have risen up against government. Now, imagine if the church is preaching against government and imam, the mosque is preaching. What do you think will happen to the people? Who rise up against them?
Now, it seems that the legal battle between Atiku and Tinubu is coming to an end as the Chicago State University has finally released Tinubu'S academic records in Chicago State University to Atiku. Now Atiku requested for the academic records of Tinubu. Yeah.
But I don't know the kind of statement you're hearing. The report I'm hearing is that the result wasn't a good result. Not, he stated that Tinubu actually graduated from Chicago.
No. The result states that Tinubu graduated from Chicago State University. He attended the school. Now, but on the certificate, there is a
clause.
There's a clause there. Are you getting me now? The sex is female and not male. I think that's where the problem is. And apart from that, the certificate submitted to INEC is different from the one the Chicago State University issued.
Automatically, that would have removed him out of office. That's the truth. I don't know, because we encourage corruption in this stupid country. Automatically, with that, Tinubu should be out of the office. Because we can't have a fraudster as a president.
People are not looking at that line.
A fraudster as a president. Now, remember, you said female. Now is a male. How come female? That's the question. Are you a male? Yeah, you never went to university at first place. Then the next thing is they remove you out of the presidency. You are no longer the president of this country. And let's have another election. That's the truth.
That's what you want.
But because, see, I'm telling you, this is not all about hatred for Tinubu. I have always said it from the day one that Tinubu is never a graduate. I never see Tinubu as a graduate. Tinubu is a chronic man. I'm telling you, it's just an opportunity to understand English. You understand? That's just. Okay, haven't you see somebody who did not go across the wall for the four wall of university and he speaks English like graduate? Have you seen that?
Very well.
That's what I was talking about. Imagine such a man tell you that he's graduate. Won't you believe?
So don't you believe that Tinubu attended that school and graduated in 1970?
I've ever since Tinubu has been speaking his English, have you ever had that actor that signifies that this one went to university? Come on.
I don't understand what you're saying. Grammar.
See, okay, now let me tell you.
Right.
Do you know that a difference when somebody went to school and speaking English, from the tone of his English, from the statements that comes out of his mouth, you will be able to say this guy is a graduate. And that's the difference from when a secondary school student is speaking English. You will definitely, this guy is just a secondary school guy. So that's what I'm saying. That stuff about a graduate is not in Tinubu. That's what I keep telling people. You can't find it. You can't find it. You can't. You see, let me tell you, for every English that's ever come out of Tinubu, I've never heard a vocabulary English from Tinubu's mouth. That's the truth. I say, quote me. I've never.
Do you listen to the president?
I always listen
to his speech.
His speech are more like you speak English, you use Yoruba to correct the complete.
I don't think so. MC grammar.
See, let us not
or
be
is there any hatred you have for the
Let
president?
us not be sentimental about this.
Okay.
You understand? Let us not be sentimental. Now, I want to tell you something.
Okay.
See, I'm not trying to praise this man. Peter Obuani speaks English. You don't need to be told that he's a graduate. I'm trying to bring this up.
Somebody is telling you now by English, go sleep.
Excuse me.
Somebody has just said something now by English.
Yeah, I'll say, when Peter
and the English you're talking about, the English you're talking about is a borrowed language. It's not our heart. It's not our own language.
That's my problem with you people. Now, why is it that when it comes to a big man, you remember it's a borrowed language? But when it comes to poor men, who doesn't know?
Does Putin speak English?
Okay, now let me ask you.
The president of Russia, does he speak English?
Suppose you have a company, you want to employ somebody, and now somebody doesn't speak nice English, comes to your company. Won't you make jest of him? Why did you say English is not your father's language? Come on, let's correct ourselves. We all citizens every day. Why is it that when a poor man talks, you say his mouth is smelling, but when a big man talks, nobody complains? So what I'm trying to say is that, see, we all know very well that Tinubu, even his spoken English, is not well articulated. That's the truth.
All right,
excuse me.
You are entitled to your own opinion.
See, bros, let me tell you something. Okay. Do you know why I'm saying so? The reason why I'm saying so is because ever since my existence, do you understand?
Okay.
I've never seen Tinubu, you understand, speak what I call Queen's English.
Does English, speaking of English, define who you are?
That is exactly what portrays who you are. That you tell me that
Speaking
you are
another person's language?
you
Another person's language, not your language.
Listen,
You're from which state?
Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Let me tell you.
You're from which state?
I'm from Imo State. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You know why she's representing
What's your
us?
major language?
Igbo is my major language. Now wait, you know Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You know why she's representing me and you? The other day, I saw the way Nigerians were jubilating when they saw American president with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You know why? She speaks good English. She speaks good English.
That's the reason.
So, excuse me. Okay, let us assume that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala doesn't speak English and goes here with the president of America. Nah, it is not easy, my friend. All this, who will recognize her?
Even the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, speaks good English.
Better than even Tinubu.
Better than
See, let me tell you.
No, for you to have said,
I said
Tinubu
better than even Tinubu
cannot speak good English.
See,
that's what I'm saying. That's why.
This is not all about hatred. Get me very well. This is not all about hatred, but this is all about what we see.
And I'm just saying that even the former president Buhari speaks good English, let alone Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That's what I'm saying. Because even his English is better than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because he uses Aboki. Listen, so he uses to cover up.
All right,
listen,
we have other people on ground.
Tinubu is a Yoruba man.
All right.
That it is, let me tell you, it is expected in Nigeria that Yoruba speaks more Queen's English than anybody. So Tinubu, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is an Agbero.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Okay. Lee should be given the chance to speak. Lee, good morning to you. How are you doing? All right. The president has... okay, let me just start with Labour before we move into presidency and Atiku. Finally, Labour Congress and the TUC, Trade Union Congress, have suspended...
Well, I told you, I think I told our meaningful and sensible viewers on this platform, I said NLC and TUC were not going to go on that strike.
You said it specifically.
I told you that the NLC and TUC have been challenging their energy in a wrong way. All right? I saw one thing that they said they wanted to do now, which was to have a collaborative inspection of the refineries. Let me tell you, the NLC are the best arm of labor unions that can help us push for revolution if they understand where they will push their energy. Let me tell you, NLC are supposed to be holding National Assembly fully responsible. But you don't say NLC do anything about National Assembly. All they focus on is who? The president. Everything they need from the president will still take it to the table of the who? National Assembly. Why? You know what I've said?
You said it, that Nigerians should focus their energy.
Let me tell you one of the reasons why I said NLC are the best tool we can use to fight the government, because we have NLC cutting across all states, all local governments. You have state chairman of NLC, you have local government chairman of NLC. Do you understand? Yes. So it is easy for us to hold our senators, our House of Rep, because the NLC are always speaking from the same page. The minimum wage review deals is always due in every 5 years. If you want that to be reduced to 3 years, who will amend it? It is the National Assembly. All right? I said right from day one that the NLC, you are going into meeting with the federal government. What you should be doing is federal government, all the states that you give money, we want you to notify us. We want to be a part of that implementation and monitoring committee on this subsidy cushion effect. When they pay 2 billion, we are supposed to be getting from every state NLC chairman that this governor has collected the 2 billion, he has not done anything. Mobilize all the state workers. That is an effective NLC, that is what they should do. But you see, Joajero became partisan. And that's why I said that I was really painful that Festus Yusufu is not the NLC chairman. Because Yusufu would have, deployed what I said. NLC would hold the National Assembly responsible, as well hold the federal government, but they must concentrate on what? On the National Assembly. Everything that we are seeking today on subsidy removal, if National Assembly did not support it, it will be reversed. If we want our National Assembly to be effective, the president will not do anything without being checked. And the only people that can do that are the National Assembly, and the right people that should hold the National Assembly responsible are the labor unions. But they focus on the president, allowing the National Assembly members to be at ease. That is where we are getting it wrong. Now they said they want to sign an agreement that they will always go in join with the federal government committees to go and inspect the refineries. You know why they are doing that? That means we expect what? The real information. There was a time I said that people would rather listen to labor union than listen to the federal government. Because if the federal government tell them that the refinery will be ready by next week, they will not believe. But if the labor unions were going together with them, and the labor unions now true, we reach there, we say with our koro eyes, yes, that refinery is ready in 1 year or 2 years. Or if they are not doing anything, the labor will come out and say that federal government is not doing anything.
Yeah, they're like the mouthpiece of the people.
Yes, because they are not trustworthy. The federal government over the years has lost trust with the people. So people would rather believe the labor union guys. So this should have been the way the NLC should have held this government and National Assembly more responsible if truly they are serious. But I think maybe they are coming back to their senses, because that's the way to go. All right, that's the way to go. No. I have said it.
This suspension is just for 30 days, and which if peradventure the federal government does not meet up to the demand or meet with the demands of the Nigeria Labour Congress and TUC, there might be another strike.
There's no way the federal government can meet all the demands by 100%. There's no way. But let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
For the labor unions to now have this intention to inspect the refineries, along with the federal government members of the committee, right? If in 1 month the labor unions are now going to the refinery and they are not seeing any substantive progress, it is now becoming lean that this promise will not come to fruition. All right? Because on that inspection team, labor union will go with professionals. They will go with at least 1 or 2 people that understand that, okay, I think this is possible to come back to comes back upstream. Are you with me? If they go and they say, oh, this thing is true, by October ending, they will say that, no, we are still extending our suspension. All right? But if they go, and every time they go to that refinery, they don't see any work ongoing, they don't see people fixing things, they don't see that this thing is coming closer to reactivation. Yes, because they are seeing it in real time, because they are not being kept in the dark now. They know that, okay, this is just like you're building your house. You know, there's a difference that you're in America, someone is helping you to build your house, and there's a difference you're on ground. Because if you're on ground, when you get to your site, maybe they wanted to cast the decking, and maybe rain wanted to fall, or maybe all these boys, land grabbers came around. You will see it on on site. You have it in real time. You understand, oh, truly, this is what happened. And you can relate to whoever is in your investment. But in a situation whereby you are in America, and the person who is helping you to develop now told you that, we could not cast because Omonile came, because loan is falling. You know, you have this iota of doubt that, could it be possible that this guy is trying to scam me? Even if he does a video coverage, you might think that in this age of AI and this guy can cook up anything. So with the labor union now finding themselves in the midst of the implementation committee, so we should expect more reportage from them. And at all state levels, they need to monitor and do a close marking of those state governors. Because so many state governors have collected the money. Look at Bayelsa. Bayelsa collected the money. They want to use that money for campaign. Look at Ondo. They collected the money. He's battling his deputy governor. The labor union in that state should be active. They should be active. That, okay, give our people this thing. We are aware that you have collected the money, because they have superior colleagues who are at the federal level giving them information. Are you with me? So this is how the chain of command and the chain of monitoring federal government will work. And that is how it should be. And I've always said this right from onset.
All right, thank you so much. Let's quickly move down to the CSU, Chicago State University. The record has been released to Atiku, and yesterday the Atiku's Labour team were carrying out their own investigations and reports on it. It was released, yesterday. And Lee, let me ask you this question: Is this a shut up for Atiku?
Listen, Atiku, I think it's too early for Atiku political career to be annihilated. I still want Atiku to be relevant to 2016. I think we still need more of his money to be wasted. And I mean, by 2027, he can finally get the total knockdown. Atiku played politics of bitterness. He took politics to an ugly, fit, whereby he started going for personal issues, even when the university clearly stated that this guy was an student, this is genuine. Listen, on the documents, I want to ask some questions. If peradventure, as a student, you graduated from a university, let's just say 5-6 years ago, and the VC peradventure signed, right? Do you agree that it's only the student that will have the original copy?
Yeah.
Now, in a situation whereby an unforeseen incident happened and then you lost your certificate, and for whatever reason you need to defend yourself in the courts, and you need this university to reissue another original certificate, is there a chance that the man who signed for you 6 years ago will still sign for you?
There.
Is there a chance?
It's slim.
Now, is it possible? Is it possible that people resign?
The chance is 50-50.
Wait, is it possible that people resign? Is it possible that people die? Is it possible that organizations change their heads of operations? Is it possible that people get to their what? I mean, people even get sacked. Now, is it possible that companies change their seal design? Company seal. Is it possible that people change their company seal?
I think that there are more.
Now, on that seal issue, I think I've been able to clarify that. Now, on one of his documents, we found out that they wrote F, which signifies female. On the admission letter, we saw it clearly where they wrote Mr. Congratulations, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All right? On some of his documents, we saw where they wrote F.
Would you say the mistake was from the school?
Now, today, the court will have a deposition from a staff of the school who would come and state clearly why we have such classes. Now, I have decided to go with the fact that that F is as a result of a mistake, clerical mistakes. But some people said, no way, that mistake wasn't a mistake. It was only clearly stating that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a female. Now, we have a state security number on his documents. People have gone out to verify. They saw that from the SSN, it's clearly stated Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a male. But people are not talking about that.
They're talking about the gender.
People are so particular about what the mistake that occurred. But let me tell you, whatever information Atiku got was what he has already seen before now. And I think Reno has been vindicated. Reno Mokri has been vindicated because he said that whatever. And by the way, Reno Mokri is a staunch supporter who is being paid by Atiku. So is it not counterintuitive? I am paying you, but you confirm something for my opponent, and you are still telling me, I don't confirm that thing are true. No bother. But I still insist that no way. I have to see something else. It doesn't make any sense.
So don't you suspect politics?
Perhaps Reno Mokri. Perhaps
it's not.
Perhaps it's not
the tone of APC. Yeah.
Well, it's not impossible. In Nigeria, anything is possible. Don't be surprised that Atiku will later cross to APC. Don't be surprised.
Will Atiku ever do that again?
Was he not in APC before now? He was in SAI.
He has the cross carpet.
He was under the mentorship of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if I'm not mistaken. This was all out there. Bola Ahmed Tinubu taught him politics. He taught him politics, how to play it at the national level.
I think someone has answered you here. Kelvin Uche, okay, Reno is not working with Atiku, he's working with APC.
Well, if he has his evidence, everybody talk is cheap. Everybody can speculate.
I know Reno has always...
Don't be surprised if Obi will eventually become to APC. Today, NNPP is toothless. Today, NLC is toothless. Don't be surprised if Obi will what? Become...
But that will be heartbreaking.
Now the question is, would you rather have him decamp to PDP or APC? Where would you rather have him to? That's the question. Who is in power?
The Obedience will not be happy with that.
Why? Because they are naive.
Obi the campaign to
No,
APC,
because they are naive. Let me tell you.
and Obi will lose his respect. Don't forget
Obi,
that.
Obi was interviewed yesterday. He said he would have devalued the naira to 600. And then I asked him a question. Where would you have gotten the money? For you to peg your naira, you have to have something in your arsenal, which is your what? Your reserve. What we are crying is that Kobo no dey the reserve. So we had no choice than to just let the money float. And anytime it's going out of hand, the little money we have, we intervene. Then Obi was confused. You see, I'm so glad that man, at least that man came third. I'm happy he didn't come second. Otherwise, this country might have gone down. I'm happy that he came third. So, his own case is even, is irrelevant. Atiku, and that's why you see that most of Obedience followers today are now gravitating behind what Atiku. And then I ask them, where is your what? You all are crying for equity, fairness, and justice. Then where is your what? That's your what? Your moral stance. Okay, are you now vying for the power to remain in the north after Buhari's 8 years?
No, then you don't forget this is a forgery issue. And if Tinubu is found guilty or culpable, what do you think?
Everybody can.
Could be the implication
everybody can
on the president.
Wait, everybody can speculate.
Okay.
If he's convicted to have forged, yes, I'll be against it. But everything states that this is not forgery. But people are blind to see that. Everything in those documents states clearly that this man did not forge any documents.
And it's not a matter of impersonation, right?
Nothing. But people have decided to what? You see, let me tell you, the human mind is so complex and unique. I might decide to preach for you from now on and forever. It doesn't mean that you'll be convinced. Everybody is hell-bent on seeing Tinubu go down the drain, being embarrassed, being disgraced. They're obedient. All right? People like us, all right, understand that this man, who is a Nigerian, there's a possibility that there are some mistakes. All right? Let's look at. There's some situation whereby some people will see money in their bank account mistakenly. Some will return it, some will spend it. Now, the question is, do mistakes happen? Are mistakes bound to happen? Are you telling me that Chicago State University is not fallible to make mistakes?
But there's a question I want to ask. Didn't the president, Tinubu, see that gender that was put on that document?
Listen.
Didn't he see it?
Listen.
And if he saw it, what move did he make?
You see, you are now, look at the question you asked. That means now you are now extending that when you were in school, after you tell that you saw it, you tried to change it. You will not say believe. You will still go to the fact that what were the first set of exams you wrote? Those are the questions that are trivial. How does that add to the economy of Nigeria? The university came out, they said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a student. You saw the admission letter. The admission letter, which was when they did the initial profiling of this man. On the admission letter, they did his initial profiling. Now, I
think this calls for more investigation.
The deposition that is coming on board today, we will say what happened. Tinubu has already said that it was a clerical mistake. People don't believe. Now, the person who is coming to depose and defend all the documents, if he says that it was a clerical mistake, the question is, would you believe? People have made up their mind not to believe anything. The question is, if that person comes upstream to defend that it was a mistake, it was a clerical mistake, would you believe? The SSN, clearly, you can verify the SSN. The SSN is out there. There's a portal where you can verify everybody's SSN in USA. Go and verify.
Please stop speaking. You are saying what you don't know. That's what Nnamdi Norom is saying. And stop and chop. Telling you that now woman graduate for that school.
Stop and chop. Did you see the admission letter? Have you seen the admission letter? Stop and chop. He did not, have you?
I think it's getting interesting, and we really need to.
Our people have just decided to believe that this man lied. But today, everything will be put to rest because we're going to have a deposition in the next 5-6 hours
let's
and everything will be clarified.
Let's say
And afterwards, I hope Stop and Chop, Andrew, Udeze, Uchechini will not still come forward and demand for this man's biro. What was it called? I hope they will not come.
Justice for Atiku.
No.
Not justice for Mohbad again.
The truth is, at the end of this day,
Okay.
Atiku must what? Tender an unreserved apology. Okay, he must go to what? Wuse Square and declare that apology openly.
But lastly, before you go, what if actually is innocent of all these allegations?
Yeah.
What would be the implication on Atiku?
Well,
you understand the political system of
Nigeria? Let me tell you, absolutely, there will be nothing. Because Tinubu will not go after him.
Are you sure?
Tinubu is way high and above that. Ordinarily, Tinubu has information that he can use to fight Atiku as it is.
He will not go after him.
He won't go after him.
But Emefiele is suffering now.
Is Atiku in government? Atiku is no different from you and I. He just happened to buy a form and he lost in an election.
Let's say it goes. Wike is watching.
Oh.
And he's also part of the government.
That's his nemesis.
All right. I think the people is still discussing with someone there. Let's quickly answer. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
All right, it's a good day again, Michael Daniels.
Yes, it is.
All right. Can we now breathe with the release of Tinubu's academic records to Atiku? The legal battle has been going on and on and on and on. And I said to myself at some point that when will this end? Is this an end to the legal battle between Atiku and Tinubu? And how do you feel about the release of the academic results?
Thank you, Michael. The release of the academic record of Mr. President is a welcome development. We've always been left in the dark over that information for some time now, and the legal battle going on in the United States. We thank God it was released, and details, I think it's already in the public. Some discrepancies have been seen, which are already in the public and all of that. So I've not heard any official statement from the presidency over it. Let's begin to see if some of the discrepancies we saw was a mistake from the school. It was an error from the school. This actual case of forgery, that is left to be seen and all of that. So the response from presidency will determine their own disposition to that information. And also the presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku+Labour, I believe he has gotten what he wanted now. Probably can now proceed to tender it before Supreme Court. If that is still possible, I'm not a student of jurisprudence. So I mean that's where we are. But as I said, it's a good development. It is the court believe it is within its rights to have this information. And don't forget, the United States remains the father of democracy. They believe in freedom of speech, freedom of information, and all of that. So it was released, and I think it's good for our democracy as well.
It's good for our democracy. And what will be the outcome of this evidence, the Supreme Court, considering what happened at the tribunal between Atiku and Tinubu? I'm talking about the tribunal's verdict on the just concluded election. What will be the outcome at the Supreme Court if Atiku takes the evidence to the Supreme Court? Looking at our judicial system,
that is left for us to see. I don't know if at that level evidences can still be brought forward. I don't have that information. I don't want to speculate. But if it is, then I think it is a valid point for Atiku+Labour to present at that level, if it is still possible, to buttress his case and convince the Supreme Court that the current president
is guilty.
Is guilty,
okay,
perhaps, and he's not supposed to be in power. So it's left for him to convince the court. If what he has at the moment is substantial enough, Don't forget, the court will always demand for being convicted beyond reasonable doubt. So if the information,
that has always been your statement.
If the information we have now is convincing enough to bring about that that change that Atiku+Labour wanted, so so be it.
Okay. Now, if Tinubu is, at the end of the day, found guilty of these allegations, what would be the implication? And don't you think this would be a dent on the image of the entire country?
Absolutely. I believe the current news in circulation as regards the release of those documents will unsettle any serious leader, and I believe even the handlers of Mr. President are not, may not be finding it funny at this time. They need to do a lot of work in terms of ensuring that the image of the president and the nation at large is not badly dented. I believe it has been dented now. If what we are seeing is true in terms of discrepancy between what the school released and what the president has submitted to Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, and all of that. So I believe his handlers has a lot of work now in terms of the damage control now, if there is any, in terms of making sure that the entire presidency are not embarrassed. Definitely they will have been embarrassed by it, because if we are seeing things like discrepancy in gender,
because on the documents,
these are grave. I don't want to call it error, because I don't think that institution will make, but the institution hasn't also come out to tell us that, okay, we have this error, it's from us, we take responsibility for it. So, we are just seeing the release. I believe a couple of hours to come,
we need the deepest part of that,
will tell us, perhaps, we don't know yet. The school might still come up to say, okay, some of this discrepancy we are seeing is from us. We take responsibility for it. We don't know, it might still come up. We are not concluding at anything yet. We are just analyzing based on the information that is in public domain at now. And I think
there are news I saw last week concerning the school. That the school itself is a corrupt institution. But I don't want to talk much about that. I don't know if the story is true or not. But let's just move down to. I think you always hit out on something that if INEC had done the needful, I don't think there will be any need for political candidates to go to court, go to tribunals, Supreme Court to counter the outcome of any result, or victory of their fellow candidates. Now, I think INEC has a lot of job to do this time around. INEC has so much job to do in terms of investigating the political candidate vying for a political office. Don't you think so, Michael?
Definitely, our electoral process needs a lot of work. People come to submit documents that ought to have been verified, either by INEC or any of the security agencies that have been saddled with their responsibilities. It's clear that due diligence wasn't done enough from what we have seen about the president's documents and all of that. Don't forget, this was a former governor of Lagos State. And I believe those documents have been used as far back as then. Where are the security agencies that ought to have verified those documents? Where are the agencies of government that ought to have confirmed the validity of those records and all of that? And perhaps those things will have been nipped in the bud at that time and not even now. So a lot of work needs to be done about our electoral process. INEC, who have been saddled with the responsibility of conducting the elections, must wake up in terms of ensuring that documents submitted, I believe they should have a department that is in charge of verification and all of that. Huge and humongous amount of money goes into this agency for electoral purpose and all of that.
And at the end of the day, we still come out with court process.
Some of these things ought to have been tidied up at that level, so that when you need to disqualify a candidate even before the election, you will have done that and all of that, on the basis of discrepancies and all of that, so that we don't get to this level before we begin to see some of the things that ought to have been addressed in the past.
What do you think will be running through the minds of Tinubu and Tinubu? Through his mind, what do you think will be running through his mind at this point in time? This is a man that has been fighting for the CSU, that's Chicago State University, not to release his academic record. Now it's out.
As I have always told you, Mike, for him to have stood against the release of those documents, I've always told you that shows that there are things, he is aware of what is in the document. He has always been aware of what is in the document. But
just like Yoruba, there's a Yoruba argument.
Exactly. So
he knows.
He's aware if there are discrepancies or not. He has been aware. We are the one that has been left in the dark in terms of knowing the details. He knew what was there, and that was why he stood against the release of those documents and all of that. So, but now that it's in the public, I believe he knows what to do. He's not a minor in terms of
not a kid,
game, not a kid in the game, not a kid in the block. So I believe he knows exactly what to do next. And those that sought for that information equally knows what to do next.
All right,
so we look forward to that.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Away from that, let's move down to the Nigerian Labour Congress, TUC, and federal government. At the end of the day, the strike has been suspended. Michael, as of last week, Saturdays, Friday, Nigerians were, I won't say all Nigerians, some Nigerians were trooping out to the market to get food, stock in their houses, and all of that, thinking the strike, the indefinite strike, let me use that word, indefinite strike will take place today. Today is 3rd of October, Michael. It has been called off. What's the problem? Is it due to the agreement of the federal government, TUC, Labour, the strike was called off, or are you suspecting kind of broad envelope that has gone down during the meeting?
Like you should know I won't speculate. You should by now you should know that
I'm just asking you a question.
You should know that I won't speculate. The strike has been suspended for 30 days. Let's use the right word now. It hasn't been called off.
Yeah, suspended for 30 days. I said,
for 30 days from what we gathered. And I think in negotiation, you must understand that you don't get everything you are demanding for on the negotiation table. And that's the truth. The moment there is a shift from government, Labour has that burden on them to equally shift. Don't forget, the whole essence of trying to go on strike is not to show that I can proceed or I can call the workers out. That is not it. It's about pressing on certain demands. And in the last 48 hours or thereabouts, I think government has shifted in terms of providing something. How far-reaching that will go, I don't know. Then the details of what some of the things they've signed, I don't also have it yet. But I believe government has made certain commitments that I've seen in terms of agreements now that both parties have signed. And it is on that basis that Labour, reasonably so, trying to soft pedal a bit in terms of suspending the strike for 30 days so that they can look at
let's see
how far it will go and how much of it they comply with in terms of compliance and all that. So that is negotiation for you, not to show that I can hold government in the jugular. You shift and government also move and all of that, and you arrive at a compromise.
Now you've done justice to the story. You've analyzed it well, but we have many Nigerians that are not seeing it that way. Some said if Labour, TUC, have collected something from federal government, so that's why you see them suspending the strike and all of that.
Of course, life is about perspective. It depends on how you see it. What is facing me may be backing someone else. That's life. Every one of us don't have to see things the same way.
Look what you see me. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you for coming on board. All right, Usman, the CSU master. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Wow.
Thank God for another day.
Wow.
Thank God for the day.
Thank God for the day. Are you heartbreaking with the release of the academic records of your president, Tinubu'S? You're not looking, bright this morning.
How do you know that? Are you in my heart? Are you seeing my heart?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
How you see me and you say I'm not looking bright? I don't know.
I'm
what
sorry.
you
I'm sorry
understand.
about that.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not looking bright. What I have in me is happiness.
Wow.
What I
Wow.
have in me is, you know.
No, I'm just saying your face is not looking bright.
How do you mean?
I'm saying, wow, wow, I cannot see. It's looking so bright.
So
Looking so bright.
You ain't say what you don't know about me. You know? So how you say I don't know?
Well, I thought maybe it's because of the record that was released. You know.
Record of what?
Does it affect
the governance that is going on? Does it affect it? Does it affect it? You see, one thing is the back wagon, the bad wagons. I don't want to start following the bad wagons all around with, you know, because if you stay with the bad wagons, you will not move. You will not move an inch, right? You will not move for progressiveness. You know, as I'm talking to you, I've known that Atiku embarked on a fruitless white good chase. This result, no result. To start with, you require the school sack to become the president of Nigeria, right? And it's all about what school do you go to. It's all about how competent you are. The era of Awolowo, the era of Nnamdi, they went on distance learning, you know, in UK, in America, and outside, and they could be able to fix up the country well. Eh? We had a professor. We also had a doctor that governed this country. We also had an academician that governed this country. What was the results? What was the results? Look at all the governors. They will bring in their certificate, BSc, HBD, everything. They still ended up with corruption parading them. I'm not saying you should not be well educated today, but as of now, what we need is a person that can lead us to the promised land in this country. And what I can bring out, the Chicago State University have come out that this guy attended our school, right? And the male or non-female or male issues, we put it on their head that it was the administrative error from the school. And the school has not up to today denied it, right? So that means all these cases that has been coming up, the school ought to be culpable of it. Why are they not suing the school? Why is the school not suing the candidate that you want to tarnish the image of our school? And you left the school was aware, and same America, you work with ExxonMobil in America, and you know what ExxonMobil is the headquarters of all the Mobil incorporated in the whole world. The other ones they call Mobil Nigeria Limited, Mobil, you know, Mobil, what's it called? Dubai, all sort of things. But when they say ExxonMobil, that's the headquarters of the Mobil incorporated. Incorporation. So what are we now saying? Somebody worked with ExxonMobil, spent lengthy years with them. They did not deem it fit that you didn't go to school, you didn't do all this, right? So I just look at, you know, Atiku issue is drawing, and it doesn't want to drown alone, you know, because I know Atiku, I know Tinubu, I can say I know them better. Atiku was a political prodigy of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, the late Shehu Musa Yar'Adua. Okay. They were under his tutor. All at the top of Atiku, top of King Gibe, top of all those guys, they were under his tutor. And you talk of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, I've never seen a decent politician like Shehu. And that was why they could be able to persuade him to come down for, what's it called, Ashiwaju then, during the Hope 93 campaign in Jos then. So we all knew that. And same President Tinubu you're talking of today, I've been in a protest against him. That was in LSDPC when I was doing my IT, Lagos State Property Development Company. That's in town planning in Ukweju there. I've been in protest with the Labour, the state Labour, which were I did IT under their offices, all these labor guys, the offices they posted them to. So I went in solidarity with them. So some people will be saying, when I was criticizing Tinubu, where were they then? And when I see that I'm seeing a rebirth and a tunnel at the end of the, a
light at the end of the tunnel,
you know, and I have to. It's my mind. This thing, minds are belief. So as I am, I believe in the president. No matter the deformation, no matter the most persecuted president we've ever had, it will become and it will lay that history on ground. As it is, Atiku knew that.
Is it the most persecuted?
Persecuted.
Okay, persecuted. Sorry.
Persecuted.
You're talking about persecution. What about the former president?
Which former president?
Muhammadu Buhari. He was also accused of
also
persecuted.
Muhammadu Buhari knew that they would come for him because take it or leave it. He has been the only military head of state that have never tasted the goodness of this country. And he now decided that it's his own turn. Likewise.
So also take out of national cake? Or what are you trying to say?
National cake. When you go back to the IBB of this world, you go back to the Abacha of this world, you go back to the General Ambassador of this world, they benefited a lot from the country. But Buhari was white. He went on white goose chase with Diagbo. You know, trying to turn the country to, you know, to a great country and to a well-moving, decent country, you know. But at long run, they did not acquire anything. As of that time, they went for it. So he now decided
to come back.
Let's come back, and you know, when he saw his colleagues, how you know that they are boom and shakers. You know, the entire military colleagues. So let's look at things from the facts. So the excesses of the past military head of state we have that brought in Buhari, that is his own turn to have his own share of the national cake. So Buhari had it, and everybody is crying out.
So he didn't come on the interest of the masses.
Yeah, it was before it was IBB. Later it was Abacha. Now it was Obasanjo. Now so the military. Thank God that we're not having any military coup in this country.
Before you go far, don't you think Tinubu might be found guilty of these allegations?
Where would that guilty come from? Where would that?
I'm just saying from the Supreme Court, because Atiku, don't forget that he's still taking this case to the Supreme Court. The man is seriously trying to nail Atiku+Labour, and he's not giving up.
The court has told them, we don't want additional evidence. Come and prove how you won election. And the court will tell you, all this University of Toronto, University of this thing is irrelevant. It's the constitution.
But don't forget that Atiku is questioning the credibility of Atiku+Labour in the last election.
The credibility now is the technicality, part of the technicality.
And he said what is submitted is not the same as the certificate issued to him in the Chicago State University.
That is when
so would you call that additional evidence?
Yeah, it's additional evidence. And that issue,
but it is needed.
He ought to have sued. That's when the INEC will now sue either Tinubu, right, for bringing them fake. It's not article issue to be running around. The Supreme Court guys have said, we don't want technicalities. Come and prove. It's same technicality. It was a drug, this thing, in that they were chasing the group, they were chasing white groups, they were back on white group chase. Then that cost them all this lambasting. The judges were giving to all this their counsel. That you ought to have come and prove how you win the election. Not about this guy. There was a time it was the drug this thing, it was the drug cartel. Come and prove. Election is what do they call us? Electoral body, the Supreme Court, and you're talking of the tribunal, electoral for electoral, tribunal, electoral cases is what we want here. Your election you participated in. How did you win this election? What are the votes you got? Bring the evidence on the table. So you see, they are deviating.
Why did you say your opponent didn't deserve to win?
Yeah, why? Yes, come to the table and let us see the evidence. Because if also it's distraction, You want to take us back again? And we are here to talk about the victory of elections, the victory and the manipulation of the election. Bring out the facts and let people see the facts on you. And I'm so shocked that some sadists still embark on all this white goose chase, man. And it's not a do or die issues, right? If you want to nail someone, come with the facts. Say you want to nail the person. That this election, it was rigged. Look at what happened in Nasarawa. The judges don't have to even waste time on delivering the judgments. They remove the APC guy instantly and put the PDP guys. Yeah. But all these guys will not see that as a good, good omen for the democratic space. So when you have some fascists contesting electoral, results, what else do you expect? Some extremists.
All right, you've said a lot, and let's quickly move down to the last story. Yeah, TUC, the Trade Union Congress, Nigeria Labour Congress, at the end of the day, now suspended the planned indefinite strike for 30 days.
I've always been saying this. TUC, NLC, they always, what they call customer that to God. What they call customer that.
Who sang that song? CDQ.
CDQ. Customer that. They know themselves.
I said
it on this.
People are watching you.
I said it.
People are watching you.
I said it on this platform. Say, you see this Labour will always bamboo you guys to believe in that you are fighting for themselves. And long run, what did they fight? What did they achieve? What they achieve in that?
This just a suspension for 30 days.
30 days. That pressure for 30 days and brought in 35,000 naira to every one of their accounts as they are now. They labor up this thing. And that's the federal workers. It did not even include the state workers, right? So I told you, the labor, anytime you see them coming out, is for their selfish interest.
Consideration. Similar consideration to be given to local governments and private workers.
But they didn't do that.
But I don't know how possible it will be for private workers.
Is that what the Labour said?
Yeah.
You sure that's what they
Yeah.
They can't get set that. Never. They cannot work. Because where are they going to source for the money?
That's
where are they going to source for the money? That means if you do give it to local government, give it to local government workers and states government workers. How about the masses, other masses? What's the population? What's the population of all these guys? The labor in quotes and unquotes. What's their population? Bring all of them together. What's their population? I mean, compared to the massive population of the jobless masses, hungry masses on the street, they need to plan more for the masses than labor. Because as I'm talking to you now, laborers, when they retire, their pension is waiting for them. Right? And after the pension, there's still some money they start paying them as token that they continue enjoying. What about the masses that has never even benefited any single thing from Nigeria? But when we are talking this, the fun people will start saying, Kule is this, Kule is that.
Let me quickly read this funny comment here. Yeah. Damian Osas, I have a friend like Kule who has been a supporter of the All Progressives Congress for years as APC. Sadly, Nigeria has happened to him, and he always tend to ask me for help. I just tell him, sorry bro, I can't help.
Like that, God is my helper.
I don't know.
Even if you help your brother, you don't need to be shouting it louder outside there. It's a big blunder you're making. If you help your brother, help him on humanity. Don't help him on political issues or on all these things. You can't control him. You want to help him and still turn him to stooge.
No, I think there's something Damian sees about his administration. That's why.
I see nothing about the administration. Yeah. If you want to keep your help, you can keep your help. Because I'm talking, you can keep your help. You are not God. You are not God. That's one thing. Me, myself, in my own little way, I'm helping people. I'm creating solutions for people's problems. So what are you not saying? When you give somebody stipend and you still turn yourself to demigod on top of what you charity.
Right, we have
charity is a common thing. Otherwise, it's not a new thing. It's not a propaganda thing that you start propaganding on. You help somebody and you say because he's on the same. That means you want to enslave him with your. let us be thinking right in this country. You want to help somebody, and that guy has to become your slave because you've helped him. I don't know the way this
we have different comments here.
Let's hear them. It's a welcome development.
Okay, but let me greet. I've not even greeted the viewers across the globe, and let me tell you, viewers across the globe, please, you are also reviewers on this platform. Despite the fact that you are watching us, the fact that you are contributing at the comment section shows that you are also one of our reviewers, one of our contributors, and we really appreciate you. Please make sure your comments are coming on that platform. We'll read it. I'll read these messages as time permits us. And very soon we will be opening the call lines, for viewers to also contribute on the platform. I think we need to work on that. We've been facing a serious network issue since last week. I think since Friday or so. And, David has been trying so hard to
it's
make
only
sure.
in Nigeria that I see that network always crop. Instead of speedy network. So, and to me, I want to say something again.
Okay.
I want to thank one particular lady.
Okay.
One particular lady. If let me just say if. That's just the if. That lady is a typical example of how humanity is supposed to be.
Yeah.
It has been of help to me. She was the one that organized the outreach. The outreach we went for. She was the one that, with the support, we pushed into it. She brought the charity outreach.
Okay,
but you never hear.
We were back on 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, you will never hear anything from her. Those are the chosen one, the one God chose as destiny helper. Not the one that will do one error and start. I mean,
it's just expressing his own.
No. It's
own feeling about
it. It doesn't need to bring that feeling.
Do you know Dimian from anywhere?
It's not Dimian. Is not God.
Do you know Dimian? Have you been communicating with Dimian?
I don't know, and I don't people like that. I don't know. I Oniregun. They call them Oniregun. I did.
All right, let me quickly. The weather is not favorable again. All right, let me quickly say hi to our viewers on the platform. I have Kelvin Uche. Say good morning to you, Kelvin. Thank you so much for joining us. Nnamdi Norom, thank you so much. Odunlade Taiwo, thank you so much for joining us. Fat Kunle, we appreciate you for joining us. Fat, we appreciate you for joining us. Gladys Nyabo, we appreciate you for joining us as well. Stop and Chop, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Kelvin Uche, thank you so much. Damian Osas, and we have others that we can't even, Okay, JJ, is it Jaja or JJ? Thank you so much, Rachel Hunter. Good morning to you. We appreciate you for joining us on today's edition of Bystanders at Newsstand. Olori Collins, thank you so much. Uche G, thank you so much, my G. Okay, I think we will go beyond this. Rich Soccer, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for joining us. Sally Koran, thank you so much. Olajide OJ, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on today's edition of this program. Tomorrow is another day. Bystanders at Newsstand, your number one online newspaper. If you program will be on air tomorrow. You can join us on our social media handles displayed on the screen. It's right there. You can also join me at Michael Atiku+Labour on social media handles at Michael Atiku+Labour and on TikTok, Mike Flip TV. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Tomorrow is another day. Bye for now.